Most self-improvement and mindset advice is a collection of aspirational, low-utility platitudes. Positive thinking is a cognitive overlay that fails to address the underlying neurological architecture of habit. Affirmations are linguistic placebos that do not override the brain's deep-seated pattern-matching algorithms. The hustle culture of constant activity often operates as a sophisticated form of procrastination, masking a lack of structural direction. Motivation is a volatile chemical spike that inevitably regresses to the metabolic mean. The willpower model of change is a finite resource that collapses under the weight of decision fatigue. Dopamine looping, triggered by intermittent social rewards, rewires the prefrontal cortex for short-term gratification. How do high-functioning individuals maintain absolute cognitive clarity in a hyper-stimulated environment? The mechanism relies on the systematic engineering of the environment to bypass the need for willpower. Cognitive load is a measurable constraint. Every unnecessary choice reduces the bandwidth available for high-level execution. The flow state is not a mystical occurrence. It is a neurological condition achieved by balancing task difficulty with skill level. Decision-making is most effective when it is automated through predetermined responses to common variables. Mental models are the software frameworks that allow you to process complex information without emotional interference. The immune person mentioned at 1 minute is the one who understands the velocity of attention. This metric measures how quickly your focus returns to the primary objective after an external interruption. A high-velocity attention indicates a state of deep neurological alignment and high signal-to-noise ratio. Emotional volatility is not a personality trait. It is a feedback loop caused by unoptimized sensory input. The unresolved mystery from the biological analysis was the velocity of recovery. In psychology, the equivalent is the velocity of detachment, how fast you can separate your identity from a failure. The 1-methylpiperazine of the psychological world is the practice of radical objectivity. It effectively hides the ego from the decision-making process, allowing for cold, analytical execution. Mental health is not a destination, it is the absence of internal narrative friction. The only one method for psychological mastery is not a specific meditation app or a journal. Complete cognitive sovereignty is achieved through the total removal of non-essential stimuli. You cannot focus on what you do not isolate, and you cannot isolate what you do not protect. Most social media algorithms are designed to exploit biological vulnerabilities that have zero relevance to your goals. The system relies on your curiosity being more valuable to you than your time. The immune person's 1-methylpiperazine is a metaphor for a perfectly calibrated attention filter. If the internal filter is correct, the external noise cannot initiate a distraction. Both systems rely on creating a void where the predatory algorithm or emotional trigger expects a target. Psychological optimization is a continuous process of subtraction, not a one-time addition. It is measured in the stillness of your mind, not the volume of your thoughts. The math of the brain is indifferent to your desires or your vision boards. Focus on the removal of cognitive leaks rather than the addition of external motivation. Everything else is just noise designed to keep you addicted to the feeling of trying rather than the reality of doing. If you want more things that work, subscribe.